Good day, honorable judges. First of all, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Ameera Shafwa from SMAN Negeri 3 Malang, and today I'd like to state my opinions regarding today's motion. But before we get into my arguments, I'd like to explain the basis of today's motion. Today's motion is based on how many diverse cases of gambling in many countries where it becomes addictive for many people who don't understand the risk of gambling, where the immediate solution is to imprison for the safety of society. Before we get into my statements on this motion, I'd like to define a few important terms to understand today's debate a lot better. Social services is any activity, effort, or program aimed to helping people or improving the well-being of individuals, families, or communities, especially to those who are vulnerable and in need of support. While as skill training is the process of improving targeted or specific abilities, knowledge, and competencies that help individuals perform tasks and duties effectively. Gambling addiction refers to individuals or entities who participate in illegal gambling activities, which can include both players and those who operate or provide service for gambling. Therefore, honorable judges, I do not see any correlation between social service, skill training, and gambling offenders. So I strongly oppose the motion. This House would give social service and skill training for gambling offenders rather than imprisonment. Dear judges, may I state my first argument is that the functions of prison were mainly created to punish people who broke the law. Prisons address gambling offenders because they are monitored by guards all the time. Whereas in social services and skill training, the gambling offenders are not monitored all the time. This doesn't ensure the prevention of gambling offenders to do crimes again, because basically gambling is an addiction, and as a human being, an addiction is something really hard to get rid of without proper care, in this case rehabilitation. And if the government were to enable gambling offenders to do social service or skill training, what would the society think? Society won't see it as justice because fundamentally it's a crime that does not relate to it. As an example, me as part of society, I would think social service and skill training is weird because it does not relate to the crimes gambling offenders create. It is irrelevant to the punishment they have to give. Even though the proposition team might say that social service and skill training is more efficient, social services and skill training are all available in prison, just in a different form. The forms of social training and skill training are all available in prison, just in a different type of form, because the forms in prisons are a lot more strict, that enables the gambling offenders to be more connected to the prison. This ensures that the gambling offenders do not create more prohibitions because they are more monitored by the guards in prison. Another thing I'd like to state is that why should we let gambling offenders do social service? There is no urgency and correlations to the crime they committed. If we were to apply social services and skill training to prisoners, why not apply it to the prisoners whose crimes are related to social injustice? Gambling is not a crime of ignorance or related to a lack of job skills. It is a behavioral issue that is linked to addiction or final desperation. Social services are like community cleaning, or skill training such as vocational courses does not address the root cause, because it is not a solution to the addiction caused by gambling. The solution should be imprisonment, or rather than that, rehabilitation, which is also included in prison. Based on the arguments I have stated above, I strongly oppose, because I strongly believe that gambling offenders should be imprisoned rather than be given social services and skill training, as it is irrelevant to the crimes committed by gambling offenders. Thank you.